Snake expert Jerry Martin is an Indian herpetologist with a talent for uncovering clues. When a new challenge arises, Jerry's always eager to jump at the chance. This call for help comes from over 2,200 kilometers away. A wealthy sheikh in the Sultanate of Oman has a snake park in need of rescue.
So you say you've lost all the snakes? And how many snakes was that? Over 140.
Jerry's amazed, but he is more concerned with something else. What's killing the snakes? And more importantly, how can it be stopped?
Okay, so you're planning on getting some new snakes?
The sheikh wants to reopen the park in 2 weeks. If Jerry's going to solve the mystery, he needs to act fast before the new snakes suffer the same misfortune. It's time for a visit to Oman.
Hello, Mr. Soleimani.
Welcome to Oman.
I'm doing good.
Sheikh Amer al-Suleimani loved the idea of financing a snake park to educate the people of his country about wildlife. But he didn't fully appreciate how difficult it would be to create a reptile reserve in the desert.
Oh, good.
The snake park originally housed over 140 snakes from all around the world. But after just a few months, only one snake is still alive.
This one's beautiful. What do you think of this guy? It's lovely. It's an albino python.
While the sheikh finances the project, it's Mohammed El-Hati, the general manager of the park, who handles the snakes.
From 4 years old, I start playing with the snake. Even in school, people used to call me Snake. It's my favorite business since when I was young.
Mohammed hired 2 so-called snake experts from Southeast Asia to help set up the park. But they weren't what they appeared to be at all.
Everything they did was wrong. It was painfully wrong. They used to grab the snakes with nooses, stuff food down their throats, everything that you could possibly do if you wanted to kill a snake.
After questioning the witnesses, Jerry's next priority is to inspect the scene of the crime. Clue number 1 is the extremely hot sun and the heat in the desert.
106 degrees. That's way too much. No snake would live in that.
Clue number 2 is found in the glass enclosures where the snakes lived.
Okay. To start with, you never want any electric wiring anywhere here. It's just too dangerous for snakes.
Clue number 3 lies just beneath Jerry's feet as he inspects the units.
Sand is way too fine. It's like dust. And that's not good. Infection just swell out of it.
It's no surprise that the snakes didn't make it in this environment.
So speaking with the park staff and looking at these enclosures, the enclosures played a big role in the cause of death of all the snakes here. So we're going to have to change this and then change the way they've been dealing with the snakes because they were taught wrong. And that should be fine. We can get new snakes and keep them happy and alive. Some places where the tin roof has come out off the wall. Yeah. So there's a gap there. So we'll have to repair.
Now that Jerry's highlighted the problems and solved the case, it's time for action. First on the list is to restore and rebuild the park. Jerry and Mohammed are off to shop for materials and supplies. Jerry buys plants and trees to make the living environments more appropriate. He also buys a special type of carpet-like material that will protect the snakes from the heat of the external environment.
You have a pet store here, no?
The next step is finding the correct foods for the snakes. And Jerry knows what's number 1 on the menu for most of them: mice.
Happy snakes.
At last they arrive back at the snake park.
We've got just about everything we need to redo the enclosures right now. Plants, food, rocks, matting, foam, just about everything that we could possibly need to make this a good place for snakes.
2 days later, Jerry hears the word that the snake shipment has reached Oman.
We have the snakes.
The snakes may have arrived, but Jerry has no idea whether or not all of them have survived their journey. The wooden boxes need to be opened quickly to make sure the new arrivals are alive and well. Jerry starts to work on unpacking the shipment, which includes a dangerous green mamba. Africa's green mamba is one of the most venomous snakes in the world, and unfortunately the shipment doesn't come with anti-venom.
The mamba is a snake that scares me. There's 4 of them in this bag. always want to keep in mind is to hold the snake bag above the knot. You never want to grab it by there or rest it on your lap or sling it over your shoulder. So many snake handlers, good snake handlers, have actually gotten bitten that way. You never take a snake for granted. Oh. Yep, they're fast snakes. The mambas are incredibly fast snakes. Probably the most feared snakes in the world. And rightly so, they can move so fast and they're so slender. It's amazing. This snake could kill me. But he's not going to.
Jerry quickly moves the reptile over to its new home. There's an uncomfortable moment, but all goes safely.
I was tired, but now, with these snakes, he's feeling alive again.
In just a few hours, Jerry safely places 24 deadly snakes into their new enclosures.
Easy.
He manages to do so without a single bite. Mohammed, however, isn't so lucky.
Don't bite, don't bite.
You just bite me.
Yeah?
Luckily, the snake is harmless.
Just to release the pain of snake. It's okay.
To an Indian herpetologist who grew up with cobras, the most exciting snake is actually a fairly common one from the western part of the US and Mexico. A rattlesnake.
I do not believe this. Oh, I do not believe this. I have never heard the rattle of a rattlesnake before. Okay, calm down. Easy does it. Who would imagine I would come to Oman and then see a rattlesnake here? Lock it up real good. Don't want rattlesnakes getting loose in Oman. So it's 4:30 in the morning. We put all the snakes in their enclosures. And tomorrow we have to see that they settle in well. We'll start handling them tomorrow?
Yeah?
Yeah. You and I can work with them and show you what has to be fed to what and how to play with them and how to deal with them.
I'll try to see maybe you can feed them.
Yeah, first we get some sleep.
The two men spend the next 2 weeks working hard, cleaning, training and preparing for the opening day of the park. At last, the big day arrives and the doors are opened as the first new visitors enter. For the sheikh, asking Jerry to intervene in the park was money well spent because now the snake park is operating again, this time correctly. As for Mohammed, he has acquired new skills and now has new snakes to look after. Having learned so much from Jerry, he's enjoying his chance to teach others about snakes.
I like them, that's why they like me.
Most important things that snake parks achieve is actually giving people a first-hand experience with snakes. And that includes letting them hold a snake now and then to debunk the myths that they're slimy and they're aggressive and all they really want to do is harm us. But you can't really tell a person that unless they actually experience that for themselves.
Thanks to Jerry Martin, visitors to Oman's first snake park are finally getting a chance to see and touch snakes for themselves. It looks like the snake detective has solved this case successfully.